Hello everybody, IMakeLevels here, and welcome to my brutally honest 3-minute mod review where I help you find the best of the best mods while hopefully avoiding the worst of the worst. 6 years of development time, custom assets, custom voiceover work, 8-ish hours of gameplay as we follow Gordon's story to an epic conclusion. Or at least I'm assuming there's an epic conclusion, because I really didn't enjoy this mod at all. I made it about 5 hours in and just could not will myself to complete it. There is fierce conversation on Planet Phillip about how this mod does not stay true to the Half-Life universe, and the opposition saying that it doesn't have to since it's a mod, and all the things that people are complaining about is the author's style. Personally, I'm going to ignore all of that. Because at the end of the day, if a mod is fun, that matters more to me than if it's faithful to the lore or whatnot. Spoiler alert, I did not find it fun at all. Number 1, cutscenes in a first-person shooter game. I feel like this was the biggest source of frustration for me. Most seem to be level dumps, where Gordon would walk through a doorway, the author would lock the door behind you and unload the previous level. Okay, so it has a function to it, but there are so many more interesting ways to free up memory. Also, by having so many cutscenes, you're removing the player from being an active participant in the game to being a voyeur of the game. So many cutscenes were unnecessary and would have been just fine to let the player retain control and, continue playing the game. But every time the author wrenched me out of the game, it killed me a little bit more inside. Some cutscenes were so long I just got up from my desk to do something else for a couple minutes. Not fun. Number 2. Buttons. Do you like pushing buttons? Do you like pushing buttons to open doors? Do you like pushing buttons to open something that you can't even see? Do you like pushing buttons that enables another button to be pushed? Then this mod may be for you. I don't understand why the author went through the process of scripting up button open door scenarios for so many doors in the game. Is the game really impacted if you just let me open the door by itself? Seriously, play a drinking game where you take a shot every time you press a button, but be responsible. You may have to pace this mod out over several weeks if you do that. Alcohol poisoning is not fun. Number 3, combat. The combat isn't fun. Period. There is rarely cover for you, there is occasionally cover for enemies, but they don't make use of it a lot of the time. In the 5-ish hours of the mod that I've managed to play, a vast majority, something maybe like 70-80%, was just trading shots with enemies in a wide open space with no cover. Not fun. Number 4, the level design. This mod suffers from room corridor room syndrome. Here's a room with stuff to do inside of it. Kill enemies, collect items, etc., etc. Now there's a hallway with nothing in it, and you transition to the next area. Now here's another room with more stuff to do inside of it. Yay! I realize pacing is a consideration, but this isn't that. It's just boring and predictable level design. Like when you watch those old young adult TV shows from the early 2000s, 20 minutes in, you know exactly how the other 40 minutes will go. It's just predictable and not fun. Also, this other stuff. Assets ripped from other games for no discernible reason, usable doors that look like locked doors, reskinned weapons, enemies, and props for the sake of having I made a 1.5 gigabyte mod on your resume. Inconsistent button usage. If you have such a hard-on for buttons, at least let me know which button I'm going to be spending 8 hours searching for. Easter egg hunts. I mean, keycards. Keycards are lame. Ultimately, after 5 hours, there was genuinely nothing that made me sit back in my chair and say, holy crap, that was awesome. In spite of all this, I will say, check it out for yourself. If you can spare a 1.5 gigabyte download, spend 30 to 40 minutes playing the game. If you don't like it after that much time, you probably won't change your mind, and if you do like it, then you probably won't change your mind as well. At the very least, go check out what other people are saying about it on the download link. I am, after all, just one opinion.